Aging Just Gaming, Tesco, Hasip,
All right.
Trader.
What
Amazing,
is going
fam.
down?
Welcome back.
What's up, Leo? Happy Monday, everyone. Shout out to Mac. Yeah. What up, Captain? What up, AB Mike? Who else we got here? What up, Big Folk Red? What up, Unique? Who else? Who else we got? Shad's in the building. I think we said Shad. What up, Forex Frank? What up, Aaron? Morning Star. Good morning. Good to see you as well. What up, Rob? Hey, if we could spam some W's in the chat, if you guys are ready to be here, if you're ready for a new week, if you're ready to roll this week and get off to a great start, just spam some W's in the chat. I'm going to get the Zoom link sent up, and we're going to get everything going here. Zoom. There go the W's. Sheesh. All right. Yes, sir. W's coming in here today. W's coming in. W's going out. W's all in between. That goes for the day and the week here. Let me share my screen. Boom. All right. Let's bring up the Discord here. Hey, guys, if you're not in our free Discord, this is my early morning friendly reminder to join our free Discord. We got almost 5,000 people in the Discord now. Crazy. Crazy. What up, Disturbed is in the building. What up, Disturbed? Oh, Sam Capital's here. All right, now we can get the party started. Yeah, if you guys are not in our free Discord, you guys are more than welcome to join. Join the free Discord here. Come on in. Be a part of the familia. We'll talk about the Discord later, but there should be a link in the chat. If not, !Discord. And that'll get you the link there. All right. So, how was everyone's weekend? Everybody have a good weekend? Let's check the charts here. Okay, cool. How was everybody's weekend? It was a W weekend. Fact, we never talk about it later. Let me promote my Discord. All right, we'll talk about it now since we don't have a closure, gang. And I want to hear how your weekend went. So, yeah, this is our free Discord. It, again, we're creeping on like 5,000 people in this Discord. It is super fun place to be. Good community, great community actually, where you can come in here and you can learn a whole lot, man. I mean, when it comes to trading, we basically cover everything here. You know, we also have a lot of fun, right? So we got the food room and the art and the book club. If you guys aren't reading any books, highly recommend you start reading. If you guys notice, I got a bookshelf here behind me, and every successful person you meet, they will have a mega bookshelf in their house somewhere. You gotta go find it. Expensive weekend. Yeah. Life is boring when you can't trade. Yeah, I forget who it was. I was looking in the Discord. Somebody said their weekend is just waiting for the live streams. But yeah, if you're not in the Discord, we got the book club here. We got anywhere you guys want to share some art. Oh, added this to my setup. Nice. That's clean. See what you guys are grubbing on here. We got people grubbing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's our time to eat cook right here. Once we have our big gatherings, we got a chef here. We got a chef. Oh, yeah, we got words of wisdom here, too, are back today. Shout out to Austin. Hope you're feeling better. Got the words of wisdom. But if you guys are trading, you got an Asian session room, London session room, where although we aren't streaming those times yet or those sessions, you can come in here and you can chat it up and talk with some of the other members that are in the Discord trading at that time. And it gives you a nice community to kind of bounce ideas off of. And then obviously, you know, we got the New York session, right? So the New York session, which we live stream. So, you know, another great room for after the live stream. A lot of action here, but yeah, man. So come on in, join our free Discord. We also got just a general chat room here where traders can talk and share ideas and, you know, help each other out. So also big, right? Charts for stream. So if you guys do have any charts or any trades that you've taken that you would like some advice on or like us to take a look at or break down, you can send them in the charts for stream room here, and we'll go over those trades at some point during the session. And if you guys can, so this is just a picture. So what I see here is just a picture of a chart with like 4 lines on it, right? So if you're gonna post something and you want us to break it down, give us some context, right? You don't have to go this deep, but give us some labels here. 1, 2, you know, daily bias was this. I was waiting for here. This happened. The setup was this. This was my TP, right? Just something that we can kind of go off of, right? But while we're on the topic of the trade of the day, you guys can come in here and read. These are all the trades that we take on stream. So every trade that we take on stream is covered and recapped by Scott, and you'll see Scott in the chat. And yeah, these are really good to go back and look at. Plus, you could also learn how to kind of mark up your own charts, right? And how to, I don't know if you guys take trades and then mark them up afterwards, but learning from some of these charts here that Scott has done, you can you know, get some incredible ideas. So that's a little bit about our Discord. We almost 4,500 people here. So, and then if you guys are a part of the Signals program and the Signals room, you obviously have all that kind of things here. Let's take a look. So we got, today's Monday. There isn't much happening. There's some red folders on the Aussie dollar. That's about it. Let's take a look at further into the week a little bit here as well and see what we got going on, right? So we have Tuesday we had, let's see, some news on the pound. Nothing really for the US dollar here. A lot of euro news happening. It looks like there's a bank holiday in Europe. French bank holiday, actually. Italian bank holiday. So what's one thing we know about candles with no top wicks or bottom wicks? Well, they should come up and make it, right? But this one here is different. This one seems different. And it just seems to me like there's zero buying pressure right in this candle. That's why price was not able to make a wick, right? Because now we're coming down here and we may break these lows here today, right? If we start breaking these lows here, what you're going to see is you're going to see this range get filled. And that's what we were planning on happening the entire time, right? So what we can see here by the end of the month is something like this, right? Bearish candle closing, back below that range there, maybe no top wick, maybe just a bottom wick, and then the next candles now continuing down to retest that support, right? So again, we are in all-time highs. We are in rejection areas. Every single time we've came here, we've created that resistance, price drove down. Created that resistance, price drove down. If we're creating that resistance here, very, very high chance that we will see price start to push down. So that's one option. The other option is we respect the low here and continue up, right? Those are the only two options that price has and that we can go off of. So let's take a look at the weekly time frame here, because the weekly now gets interesting, right? So this tells me that we can continue down pretty heavily on the monthly time frame by the way this weekly candle closed. And when I say that, I mean this weekly candle closed below. If you guys notice, we closed below this level here, right? Below 1920. And if we're closing below 1920, then the next option here is
it really
1890, right? And then that's also that wick
from this
right here.
What do you mean? Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's fixed now. All I had to do is fully plug in my Ethernet cord. I don't know if that fixed it, but I guess it fixed it. Should be good now, chat. If your screen's blurred, just refresh your stuff. Anyways, chat. Common Android user. All right. Anyways, chat. What's going on, man? Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. You know, it's Monday here, so new week for us. Welcome back. It was a pretty short weekend, I'll say. you know, pretty chill weekend. Didn't really do much. What was I gonna go? Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. If you guys take a look at the charts today, today you have news, right? You have I lied. You do not have news today. I thought today you had the CPI. I guess that's tomorrow, or retail sales tomorrow. Yeah, today you're chilling. There's not much going on today. Tomorrow you have core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, and more retail sales. Wednesday you got median minutes, FOMC median minutes. Nothing too crazy. Thursday unemployment claims, and Friday chill. So this week honestly looks pretty chill. Doesn't look too crazy from my opinion. Should be a pretty decently chill week, you know, in terms of volume and everything. It should be pretty, you know, standard, I'll say. But yeah, chat, let's get going on with the week here. So let me send my Zoom link, and then let's do the analysis, and then we'll just, like, honestly just, you know, wait for ourselves to align. But first step is doing the analysis. All right, let me just send the Zoom link real quick. You guys good though? Hopefully it's a chill weekend. Hopefully no one traded Bitcoin or something, you know. Good chat. Quick question: Huracan or 720S? Just asking for a friend, you know. Huracan or 720S? That's about go crazy. 2 Huracan, 100%. Huracan. X Plaid, true. Oh man. Honestly, I was thinking 720S. They're both entry-level supercars. But it's kind of like a warm-up, you know. It's kind of like a warm-up because it's literally it'll be my second car, right? And it'll be my first like ever. It's like my first car. It's like my second car, my first ever supercar. This year, I just got my license in January. I just got the M4 was literally my first car, chat. So I need to build my way up, you know what I mean? And like, eventually, you know, entry-level supercars lead to non-entry-level supercars. That's a flex in itself. Hey man, 2 cars in a year. Hold on, let me just send my Zoom link. Did I send that? Alright, cool. I sent it. Alright, everyone should be good now. I've been liking M4. I've been loving M4, honestly. I've been loving it. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Lately, my love for cars have gone up. Obviously, I'm new to like the you know, the car game, whatever. So when I first got my M4, I mean, it was like one of my dream cars, right? Growing up as a kid, like one of my dream cars, and I got it, whatever, it was cool. And then I got bored of it a little bit, and then now I know I'm starting to like cars again, or cars. I'm getting like deeply into cars. So I actually want to tune it. I actually want to like mod it up and stuff. So yeah, no, I'm gonna probably like wrap my car, wrap it like Daytona. What's it called? Daytona Violet. So purple basically. And then I'm gonna tune it, get a new exhaust system. I'm gonna do a lot of shit to the car. Anyways. Are we gonna do Trace Taken? No, honestly, Trace Taken 7+ pips. Let's just leave it there. That's a flex. 7+ pips. So for those that say you only catch 10 pips, oh, there you go. Caught 7. Caught 7 instead. All right, chat. So let's get into the analysis real quick. All right, and then we'll get back to our stuff later on. But time to lock it in. So what we got going on today is we have, you know, gold here. So obviously we're like halfway into the month here. The monthly hasn't flipped bullish yet, right? Obviously, you are still creating the monthly bottom wick, and you have 17 trading days left. Now, a lot can happen here, right? A lot can happen. Any given point this month, we could flip, we could create a top wick. Now, worst case, worst case, price doesn't create a top wick. That's cool. It may end up closing bearish, right? So if we do end up closing bearish, right, we're still in this range here from basically where we have a resistance here, right, and then we have like a support here, right? So this is like the range you are currently in, and if we end up closing like bearish at resistance here, right, for the monthly, right, let's say you don't flip bullish and this is how the monthly closes, perfect. Next month's candle, you're likely going to see a top wick and a continuation to the downside, right? And that would make a lot of sense. Actually, that would make a lot of sense. So I wouldn't mind if you don't flip bullish. Again, it won't affect, this is the monthly time frame analysis, it won't really affect our day-to-day 10 pip trades, right, because it's just a monthly outlook. So but yeah, that's what you could probably expect if you don't end up creating a top wick for the monthly. You have 17 days left, so that's a lot of days left. Lots can happen, so I wouldn't be all right, why did I open up this? Let's see, I can do that. I didn't know I can do that. That's fire. Anyways, but yeah, at any given point, the monthly could just create a top wick and do that, create a top wick and to continue further down towards the next support at 1825. So just be aware of that. I believe the weekly is pretty bearish though. So there's a possibility you could come down to break the monthly lows. The monthly lows is at 1900, and the weekly lows, the weekly did close below the range here. So if you guys come down to the weekly, you're gonna notice that you close below this range here to the left. So there was once a support here, you close below. Let me just see where that is exactly. Yeah, so you close below here. Price closed below these ranges. I would assume since we're closing below these ranges, that you should see another continuation down towards the next support. So if this is your support right here, your next support is going to be roughly down here, I'll say, right at like 1890. So that's where you can probably come down for the weekly. Again, the weekly needs to create a top wick, or it doesn't have to, but high chance it will. But you're gonna notice that every time you close below these ranges here, well, there's only been one time really, but one time where you push through the ranges once you close below here. So that's how I'm looking at to mirror, right? I'm looking to mirror these pushes down to the left here, coming down to fill those ranges there. So a top wick is what you probably want. If you can create a top wick, earlier in the week, which is today, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you continue to drop, that'd be amazing. You eventually come down towards the next support, which is again 1890, and then eventually create a bottom wick for discount potentially even as well. So it could be an algo week this week, all right? So I would honestly, like, this might be one of those supercharged weeks where you can supercharge your account. In terms of, there'll be algo days. So the more, algo days you have, the more pips you have potentially to catch, right? So something that you kind of, wish for as a price action trader all the time. So just, locking in this week. The daily time frame is pretty, I'll say, it closed bullish, but it closed with very weak bullish here. So if you guys take a close look here, you're gonna notice that the previous weekly had no or previous daily on Thursday had no bottom wick here, right? So no bottom wick just indicates that there's not enough range to continue down. Any given point, you could come down to create a bottom wick just to flip back up bullish, and that's what price kind of did here. So if you guys take a close look, you're gonna notice that you are at some type of support here, or you were at support here. It kind of depends where you draw as well. There's a support level right around here. There's also a support level right around here as well. There's two of those areas there where price could possibly reject that. Basing it off of the first rejection today, you did come down to break the lows, and now you're starting to flip bullish. So that could just be the bottom wick for all I know, right? In the past, there's been times where you did reject the support to continue back up, right? So if this is where you're gonna reject that, you gotta create resistance somewhere, right? So you know where resistance is, right? It's gonna be likely like somewhere here, probably. I'll say this like red line. If you do end up coming up, that's probably where we're gonna come up today towards, right? So that target area is gonna be 1922. That range going up is around 86 pips. So it's not a bad range today. It's definitely tradable. The thing is, we can come down a little further, and I would prefer a little further. I sort of want to see the motion form on a smaller time frame. I was looking at gold earlier on a smaller time frame, which I'll go through here in a second. But I noticed that the motion needs to form still on a smaller time frame, like the 1 hour, and that taps you into 1906, 1907. So I'm going to show you guys where it is in a second. But that's the daily time frame, right? So understand that at any given point, you could come down further towards 1907. And then once you tap 1907, that could be the rejection for us to drive up today. So if it does end up doing that, then you have a bigger range to drive up than you would off of the current low. All right. The 4 hour time frame, again, this is what I was looking at, right? So the motion. So yes, you are, I guess you can say you are creating lower lows here, right? Lower highs, lower lows, whatever, right? You're making like, you know, lower lows, but I believe you notice how like price was struggling to push down here, right? Like it came down, broke the lows once, struggled, came back up, create support, fake out. Same thing happened here, came up, right? So there's a possibility you're gonna see another spike down here. And once you see that strong spike down, breaking through all these levels to the left here, so there's like a strong support here, you say, right? Once you see something like this form, that's your indication that that you have volume and that you're gonna continue to drive up now. So that's all I was saying, like 1907, 1906 areas to the left, right, is kind of what you're looking at. You kind of want to see it break the lows, tap into these areas, and then around like 1907, 1906, you can look to scale and buys to retest the highs or even flip this candle. If you know that your resistance now is going to be up here at these areas here, right? This is your range form. 1920, 1907, that's the range you want to play in. So as price comes down, taps those levels, you can probably look for buys and then take it up towards 1920, 1916, because the chances of you creating lows after breaking these lows is very low. Because if you were to make a low here, right, and then price were to continue to push up, it's gonna tap into 1920 before it starts to retrace, because it will start to retrace once you have like candle closures and shit, right? So once you actually close like this, you'll probably see the next candle come down, create a bottom wick, and that'll be your new low. But the first initial push up from 1907 will be a strong push towards 1920. So just expect that today, or I'll assume that that's likely going to happen today. It's just about when it's going to happen, or you know, if that actually forms or not. But if that were to form, then you know, we'll look for those buys at like 1907, 1910, 1908 and such. I'll say like 1906 is pretty decent level for us to take buys at, but we're like pretty far away still. We're like, I think 50 pips away or 70 pips away from that range there getting tapped. So let's see if we can take advantage of the sells even, because if we are expecting price to continue pushing down to create a steeper wick again towards 1907, 1906, then how could we anticipate the sells coming down on top of the buys later on as well? So how I'm gonna look at this is, or what I'm gonna do here is, let's go down to like the 30 and see how it looks here. 30, I'm just looking at structure. I'm just looking to see what makes the most sense right now. Let's drop down to the 15. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but lately I'm using the 15 quite a bit. By lately I mean the last 2 weeks since we got back. But yeah, there's your 15 there, 1910.959 here. So this is your support here, right? So let's go ahead and mark this up as like your support. Can this be a little lower? Probably be a little lower. Yeah, right there, 1909.857. So I'm just trying to mark up my major levels right now, right? Just levels where we can just tap and struggled in the past. Let me see if this can change. No, we're good. Get a little higher. Is it tap here? Okay, cool, it does. Yeah, it should be good there. Yeah, so 1910.109 I'll say is my next support here. So if price were to continue to drive down today, you now know that 1910 is a strong area of rejection, an area where price could literally reject off of at any given time. And that's what sort of happened earlier today. You came down last night during London Asian, tapped into those ranges, and then you started to just form some ranges afterwards, right? So price obviously came up, now it's creating some type of resistance up here. So if we know there's a resistance here, let's go ahead and mark this up as a resistance then. So 1915 or yeah, 1916.193 I'll say is a pretty strong level on price here. So How is that looking to 5? All right, yeah, that's cool. Should be good. So let's put it right here. All right, so 1916 current range we're in. So this is the range where there's gonna be a lot of range in, obviously, right? Like this, there's gonna be like, this is the range you're currently in right now. So there's your support at 1910, there's your resistance at 1916. This is the range where price will probably spend the majority of its time in until it breaks out, until it grabs liquidity to continue down or grabs liquidity to continue up. So the only way I can get sells here, right? Because going back to the daily time frame, going back to what we said earlier, but the daily coming down towards 1907, 1906, the only way we can get sells, or the only way I would look for sells, is probably if you grab liquidity to continue down. Because if price were to continue to push down towards 1906, right? Let's go ahead and mark that up just so you guys have a reference point. 1906.266 right here. If price were to truly drive down towards 1906, it needs to grab liquidity first before doing so, right? And you're gonna see it probably form. I'm looking left here, I'm looking at levels where you have rejected in the past, and I'll say probably like this area here to the left, 1922, or even like possibly 1921. Yeah, I'll say around those areas there. I'll say those are the areas where you can probably reject off of today to continue driving. Yeah, 21.152. That's cool. All right, so if price were to continue to drive up today towards 1921, that's when I'll look for my sells probably. Because even if you were to drive above 20 or 1916 here, think about it, right?
Daily confirmation.
If price were to just break above these ranges,
hey, what's up, Javon? Hi, Bernice.
And its target
August
was
14th.
to fill this range up here at
I am going to
this
have
area.
an amazing week.
That's your next major resistance. If that's what price is planning to do, it's got to grab liquidity before doing so, right? So like if you were to take like buys above 1921 here, right, or 1916 here, if buys were to continue above 1916, to drive towards 1926, it's got to grab liquidity. It's not just gonna drive up obviously within the candle, unless you have news or something that's a catalyst to drive it up like that, right? It's likely gonna just create some ranges before coming up. So like as you tap into like 1921, your next major resistance, right, you're probably gonna see a pullback or something there. You're probably gonna see a candle come down, create a bottom wake, you know, maybe even form resistance here for all I know, like this. And then, you know, once it forms that support there, it's likely gonna continue to drive up to retest the highs, right? But even if it doesn't do that, even if it doesn't form this, it's still gotta create a bottom wick some way, right? So if you were to take sells at 1921, that's where you're taking advantage of. You're taking advantage of that pullback, that pushback towards 1916, 1917. That's kind of like your advantage point where you can take advantage of. And then if you want runners, right, if price ends up flipping, then it ends up flipping from 1921. You have a wick entry, and then you let runners rock until 1906, and that range coming down is like 104 pip range, right? So it's either we look for that today, right, to continue driving down towards 1906, or we look for buys at 1906, right? But whatever's in this range, I probably won't look for anything in right now, at least, and then this range as well. But once you actually tap into those areas there, that's when we can probably take advantage of price action, and then take advantage of the buys and sells. All right, and for the buys, like, again, 1906. If you were to drive down, like, what's below 1906? Below 1906 is gonna be probably what is this? 1895. So like even if you were to continue to drive down again towards 1985, you're not just gonna see a one bearish candle like this. You're gonna see structure form, right? So like you might see something like this and then like this, all right? But you'll get that top wick, so you need liquidity for doing so. So therefore, you know, taking buys on 1906, you have that advantage point which you can take advantage of, and then you can put your stops below like these zones to the left here. All right. But yeah, chat, like looking for price sells at 1921 here. So I don't know when this is gonna play out. Could, you know, we gotta move like 70 pips basically in order to tap into those ranges, and you're gonna need, by looking at price here and seeing that you haven't moved yet and it's almost ADM opening or NY opening, you probably need the NY opening, and then you probably need the COMEX open. So this trade could possibly play out at like 8:15, 8:20, 8:30. If it doesn't happen by 8:30, 8:35, then probably gonna be 9:30, right? NYC open. And then if not 9, then 10, 10, 10, 20, 10, 15. But those are like your major times today. But it won't happen now. It won't happen in the next 5 minutes. I'll tell you that. So now that I did the analysis, right? It's all about literally just waiting for everything to line up so we can take our positions, all right? But yeah, man. That's it. That's what I got going on today, chat. Trace, take it? No, we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna flex 7 pips. I'm kidding. I'll take it out. Will this be the week where the account hits the milli? I guess we'll find out. Oh man. Yeah, chat. That's what I got going on today. So it's just well, the thing about the top wick here is like that's where the day break of the highs is, and but like it's between like 23 and 21, right? So like if you were to take sells at 21 here, which I believe we might head up a little further up, we might end up seeing like 22.3 here. So it's either gonna be like 22 or like I'll say 26. Like if we were to take sells here, our stops gonna be above here, or probably above this kind of high, 1930, and then second entry at 1925. Because the price were to continue to drive up here towards like this area, it's gotta create a bottom wick first, right, before driving up. So if you were to take sells here and that entry doesn't decide to reject, you have another pineapple which you can take at 26, right? Because at 26, well, yeah, in the past 26 you rejected off of to come down towards 24, 22, and you can get out a break even or even in profit with those two positions there, right? If price were to continue driving up here. I'm just trying to see if I see what happened to the left here. So every time that you drove down, yeah, that makes sense. Now look, chat, so if you guys take a look here at like every time price came down toward 1905, 1906, right? So let's go ahead and just mark this up here. So there's obviously a strong resistance here. I'll say strong support down here, right? So I guess you can just focus on this range here in this box here. So every time looking left here that you were to drive down towards 1906, what did price tap before doing so? It needs to clear ranges, right? And in the past it cleared a range in the zone here, 1927. So that possibly could be where the top wick could be before driving down towards 1906. Because again, I'm looking left here, I'm looking at the times we came down towards 1905, and this is the only thing I see in the past so far. I mean, this came down as well, but even before coming down, you create top wicks here anyways, right, at 1930. There's a possibility that this could have been the top wick for us to drive down, but I highly doubt it. Since we're closing the way we're closing, you know, at these ranges here, I would assume that you're gonna come up to at least 1925, 1923 here before coming down. So even if that is a top wick, you're gonna see a retest of 22, 23 before making its way down towards like 1914, 1912 and shit. Let's see what else you got here, because the more times it happens, the better it is, right? So what's that range there? So 1906, and then you have this range. Okay, came down, where did it tap? 29, 28, okay, 25. 1918. Came down with its tap. 1924. Came down 24, 27. 427 is kind of far away though. It's kind of far. We'll see what happens here during the session, because who knows, maybe we might end up getting the buys up about 22. Depends what price does here, right? It just needs to break out. It needs to, you know, print the motion somehow, some way. So once it actually prints the motion, you can look for positions, but it just hasn't done that yet. But this is a range you do not want to be in. And this is a range where probably like last year, if I was looking for buys above here, so I was below here, whatever, right? I'll get probably destroyed on, because you're likely to see a fake out before continuing in its direction. So yeah, probably a 4-hour motion or something here to retest like 1910. What is that? There's something range, not too bad. That is not too bad. What do we do on Friday, chat? I forgot what we took on Friday. Let me see Friday real quick. I'm interested. Oh yeah, we took this. Yeah, I guess they didn't print the motion yet. I need to wait for the breakout lows there. It's not bad. I'll say in chat, this is very similar. That's why, right here, if you can come down and break the lows at 1912, 19, there'll be a 5-minute wick for 1912 here, 1912.40. There's a possibility you can stick buys from 1912 to 1916. I'm considering it. I just want to see how price forms here, because this 1 hour candle closes in about 11 minutes here. So if we can close, respecting, you see how you have a minor support here to the left at 1913. If you can close respecting that level, and then price ends up coming down to break the lows at 8 a.m. towards 1912, you know, possibly even further down at 12.060, then you can probably take buys going up towards 1916. Because if price were to drive down towards, again, even if price were to drive down towards 1906, it's got to grab liquidity for doing so. So you have these ranges where price can obviously break above, right? So if you were to take buys here, for instance, right, later on, from here to here or whatever, like from here to here or here to here, right? Let's put it here for now for our monsters. If you were to take these buys here, even if price were to drop down towards like 1906, 1910, you're gonna see a fake out. You're gonna probably see a range one fake out like this above the range. So as you form the range one fake out, you know, obviously we'll be in profit for the buys, we'll close up the buys, right? But like once this happens, obviously that's when price has a higher chance to continue down, because it forms structure to continue down now. And that's when you'll see a push down. So yeah, we could possibly take buys at like around 8 a.m. at 1912 towards 1916. You have an advantage point from basically 1912 to 1913, which is like a solid, you know, so this is a solid 15-pip range. And then you have on top of that, you have this as well, which could be a potential 40-pip runner. I think that won't be too bad, yeah. So let's see, 1912.060. Right, and you're gonna see as well, like let's go down to the small time frame and see, let's see all the times where price drove down towards 1910 or even 1906, what happened here, right? So you're gonna see at one given point you rejected off of what, 1911, 1912. Same thing happened here, same rejection you had here to the left here, right? So here, 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 right? You're gonna see that every time you drove down towards 1907, which was mainly, I'll say here, this push down here, right? You came up and created a topic first. Look where you rejected beforehand. You rejected here, 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 and here. So like that's like the medium average would be like 1912, 1911, 500, and then you made your way up towards where? The top of the range, right? So this is the piece you're trying to catch now from 1910. From 1910 to 1912 to 1916, right? Because if it were to drive down, again, you're gonna see a topic at 1916, 1917, right? So that's what you're trying to mirror now. You're just looking in the past at levels where you rejected in the past, and you're anticipating where you can reject this time around, while taking advantage of the current ranges, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing here today, probably. All right. That's probably what I'll be looking for. Let me go ahead and just mark that up here. Yeah, sometimes chat takes me like maybe 2 or 3 runs of doing my analysis for me to actually get a better understanding of what I'm looking for today. Like there's some days where I come to the charts and the first thing I see is the breakdown, but some days it might take me a couple more, you know, sometimes it might take me more time or a couple more breakdowns in general. Like I think on Thursday or Wednesday, it took me like an hour into the stream until I actually had an idea of what price is gonna do and where price is headed. And it's just whenever I notice it, really, right? So obviously we're on the charts here, so the more I stare at the charts, the more I'm looking at these accounts print, the more I'm looking left here, the more I see the same pattern kind of print, and that's when I kind of have my analysis. But yeah, I guess, you know, 1912 won't be too bad today. It's 11.680. Yeah, 1911.680, 700-ish. Shouldn't be too bad. It's either that or we get sells at, you know, 1922. Kind of far away, but this is the range you can probably play around in. All right, so like that's where I have it at, right, chat? Which does not mean there's a buy limit here, okay? Like this is just like for those who are come to the streams and like they missed the breakdown, now they're like, yo, Don, what are you looking for, right? But like there's no buy limit here or anything yet. I'll let you guys know exactly what I do, obviously, like when I enter and all of that, like, you know, as I always do. It's just there for people who have questions. That's it. All right, so if you have a buy limit there, just be careful, because we don't have to buy. We don't have a buy limit there. We just have a potential level there. Oh man, my eyes burn. Nine 20s. Oh, 920. What up, Chad? Inspiring to see you constantly adapting. Always, man. Yo, Chad, you know what's funny this weekend? Actually, no, I did do some stuff this weekend. I was on like a mini roundtable on Twitter, actually. If you guys missed that stuff, I was this close to speaking to ICT. One day I'm gonna meet ICT. One day. And it's gonna shock the world. He actually mentioned us too. Well, not directly, but like, you know, he mentioned us in the web because I was like, I think one of the only traders on there that wasn't trading ICT concepts. And then they're asking me about how I trade and the negative RR stuff and all of that. And then yeah, later on the podcast, he's like, yeah, not a podcast, a roundtable or whatever it was on Twitter. He was like, yeah, there was actually another trader here earlier that doesn't trade like us. I was like, oh damn, he said I was listening. And that roundtable was 8 hours long. Like I don't know how they can do it for 8 hours on Twitter Spaces, but that's a long time. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Little podcast, I guess. It was with Rizdom, or yeah, Rizdom, because he was the one that mentioned me. He was the one that wanted me to speak, because I was on there watching and listening, and then he's like, you know how you can wave at somebody to like speak, and he did one of those, and then he called me out. He's like, yo, before I dip off here, guys, let's just I think Don's in the building, let's have him talk. Hopefully the podcast will be lit though once I do it in London. Don, what do you do when a trader is not emotionally there? Isn't that good? I'm not emotionally there for trades sometimes. We were laughing our asses off in 50K draw the other day. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You don't want to be emotionally there when you're trading. You want to feel empty and dead inside when you're trading, you know? Just straight up stoic, like no emotions whatsoever. When you have a rough day or something, what does that mean? Hold on, what was the question? It was when I have a rough day, what does that mean? When I close, can you close respecting here? Let's see. I'll be a steeper 4 up on a wick. Not too bad. No, I have rough days. If I ended off in a rough day. No, we have rough days all the time. Rough days are normal, man. You'll always have them. Even after you become profitable. So I think the reason why a lot of you guys aren't profitable, or a lot of you guys aren't like consistent yet, is just because like you guys expect to be perfect before you accept the fact that you're profitable, if that makes sense, right? Like you guys aren't accepting the fact that you're profitable because you have this picture in your head that being a profitable trader is being like the perfect trader. And whatever you're going through now as a trader, in your current situation, is what a profitable trader will go through as well. But the difference is obviously the profitable trader knows how to deal with those emotions, deals with those situations better than you do, right? Because you don't have that experience yet. But like you literally have all the skills to become a profitable trader. It's like all those rough days, all those good days, like I have them too. I have the exact same days as you, right? The difference is though, I have that experience to, you know, overcome those bad days and be able to look by those good days. But you literally have all the skills to become a profit trader. But some of you guys can't accept the fact that, you know, like being a profit trader isn't being the perfect trader, right? Like you guys know that. Like don't you guys like watching me on the streams every day, don't you guys, you know, see like throughout the years, like the rough months and the good months, like you see all those months, and you see how I came back to those months each and every time, right? Every time I had a bad month, I was always able to come back and surpass my previous self and be better than it was before, every time, right, in my career. And I'm not saying that to flex, but I'm saying that because like that's how it's supposed to be in trading, right? It's like a little pullback to retest the highs and to break the highs, right? So like this is trading isn't like this, obviously, right? Like not even my FX book looks like that. It looks like this on like a higher time frame, but when you go down to a small time frame, or you know what, here you go, here's a good clip. So this is like your life, right? Or this is how you expect trading to go. Just a bunch of bullish candles going up, right? But if you were to go on a smaller time frame, right, you were to zoom in, you're gonna see some pullbacks, right? So right now it looks bullish because we're just going up, right? But you're gonna notice that, you know, on a smaller time frame, this is your life. You're gonna have some pullbacks, right? You're gonna have this. You're gonna have something like this, right? This is what you don't see on small. This is what you don't want to see, though, right? Some of you guys don't want to see this. Some of you guys just want to see this, and you can't have this without this. It doesn't work. So then, obviously, if you were to come back up, right, this is how it's gonna look, right? So you see how you're pulling back here, and then like this is once your high, this is your peak. You came down, you pulled back. Things are looking down bad for you. But then, you know, you picked it up, whatever. You learn a couple things. You came back to retest the highs with vengeance, and then you surpass the highs. Then you make new highs, and then same shit again. You're gonna pull back again, and you're gonna continue up again. But that's what trading is gonna be like. It's not just gonna be one smooth ride up. Even when you're profitable, even after trading for 4 to 5 years, right? Like I still have those bad days, bad months all the time as well. But it's how I deal with them. Right? And again, all those years experience is what made me, I guess, a more disciplined trader, right? But yeah, man, that's what it is. I'm living higher, low. Honestly, the charts taught me more about life than life did. Well, that's what his stop loss. Just move the stop loss, bro. Stop loss isn't real. No such thing as stop loss. It's just called try again. Yeah, that's being recorded. Do you talk to yourself daily? No, I don't talk to myself. No. As in regards to kind of losses and not down yourself, not really. No. No need to doubt myself when, you know, the stats are the stats. Yo, drop a like. Thanks, K, for 19 months. Appreciate you. Tier 1. Do you focus on risk to reward ratio? Why would I focus on risk to reward ratio? I focus on winning. Doesn't matter what the ratio is. That was quick. I did not expect that to happen, but I guess it's ADM opening, so things are opening up here. What was stops be again? No way. I was like, that's a little too small, chat. Yeah, probably 1902. Can't see what else we can use, but probably 1902. Sorry, 1902, we're gonna use 1907. We're gonna use 1902. Can we tap 1911 751? Let's see, 1911 751 or yeah, 1911 751. I think we had it at 1912 earlier, but probably 1911.751. Trying to see if we need something else. It's either that level or 1907. That's a huge difference in price. Yeah, probably. Probably like, might be 1907. Or 19, you know what? Probably move down to 19. I want to see if we can retest the lows here one more time at 1911.022. Because if you can retest the lows at 1911.022, that's like the break of the, well, that's like the, that's the rubric of the current lows. And there's a lot of volume discount now here, right? So that's why I didn't want to take buys here off rip. I want to see the rubric of lows here. So 1911, the closer you are to 1910, the better it would be for us for the better entry. Yeah, 1911, 1910-ish. Lock it in, chat. Could be coming soon here for us. You're gonna see another drive here. There's a lot of volume in this count here, so you're gonna see another drive to at least like probably 1910.88. It's gonna fill that range there. Because we don't have to take the wick entry, we can also wait for the zucchini to form as well. That's not bad at all. 1907 will be like kind of like the break of the 4 lows as well though. Ooh, this count's on closing in about 50 seconds here. Let's see how it closes here in 4 or 5 seconds. So the 4 broke the lows, right? So you should see another drive here. But then once you flip bullish, that could be our buys here, chat. So I want to see how this count closes. If it has no bottom wick, that'll be better for us. Because then once it actually, you know, if it has no bottom wick on this 5 here, the next count is going to come down. And then once it flips bullish, you can just start to take buys going back up towards 19, 16 and such. But this is good. This is volume that's coming in here. So yeah, you have 2 entry levels, 1907, 1910 here probably. 2 and 1. Yeah, so if we can break the lows here, chat, that'd be perfect. 1909. Not bad. Yeah, I want to see the breakout of lows here. The breakout lows, 1909, 1910. All you gotta do really is break the lows, and then the flip will be our buys, all right? Don't worry about this candle. It's coming up here. It can still. It can just be a bottom wick for us to drive down. Remember, and then once you break the lows, it's either flip, depending on what we tap. Because if we can tap 1909 off of rip, that'd be perfect. We can then have a wick entry. But if we don't tap 1909, you flip, then we'll have a flip entry instead, right? But this candle should flip bearish one more time, break the lows. you should see another drive. So it could end up being a 1909 entry instead. All right, so there's a flip. Can we break the lows here? There's a lot of volume here too, so it could end up easily any given point just drive straight down towards 1907. Yeah, it might be a 1907 entry instead, chat, instead of 1909. You have about 3 minutes left for his 15 closure. You probably want to wait for this 15 closure as well. 1907 was our original buys as well, though. 1906, 1907, right? Remember that? That's what we're looking at. Which is better for us. I'm not tripping at all. Yeah, probably 1907 here then. Because if you were to reject, you would have rejected already at 1909. You didn't. You continue to push down. And you have a closure in about 3 minutes here too. So you're going to see another breakout lows here. And then once it's happened to 1907, that'll be the buys we'll have, okay? So there's no buys at 1911 here, 1909. It's going to be at 1907 instead. 1907.729. As long as we can close bearish here. Right, 4 hour will form the motion, and our stops will be 1900, so it'll be a smart stop, but better stop too. In terms of less likely to break those lows if price were to continue driving up. Right, remember what I said about the daily time from today? Any given point, just break the lows, continue driving back up, or even flip bullish, right towards 1920. Right, so 1907 is just giving you that exact entry, really. Things got volatile real quick. We're just casually speaking here, and then next thing you know, just whoop. $19 pip range, 19 more pips. Stand by limits? No, we're gonna mark execute. No buy limits, man. Because I want to see how the account closes, prints, right? It's better off we actually just mark execute than just buy limit. Because price might change during the next 5-10 minutes in terms of structure, with the way it closes and such, right? All right, cool. So 19, you close on the 15. This 15 should continue to push down towards 1906 here and fill that range to the left here. So if you look left, we're kind of breaking below here. We didn't really close below overall support, right? So you're sort of still respecting these areas to the left here, but you close below most recent. So you should see a drive at least towards like 1907, 1906 here. And then once it's tapped into those ranges, we'll look for our buys, okay? But you should see another push down here. But if I was looking for sells today, again, I was looking for price to at least give a range one fake out, right? I was looking for this first before sells. So even though price drove down here, it wouldn't have been a position I would have taken anyways, right? Because I would have wanted this. Once that formed, cool, perfect. I look for the sells coming down. Because it's a range one fake out. It's a liquidity being grabbed for us to continue down, right? But that's there was no sells for me there at all. It's not about what price prints, chat. It's about what you're looking for, okay? Could go here, drop it. It could. I could, but if I were to take sells or even like I'll need to wait for some type of top wake liquidity here at like 1913, 1915 anyways. So even if we don't get the buys here and we want sells, I'm gonna have to wait for that anyways, right? It has a print, something like that, and then continue pushing down, and the rebreak of lows is what I'll look for sells or even sells up here. But rare case does it does that today. I believe here, since it didn't come up before coming down here, you're gonna see some type of rejections at 1906, which you can play around in from here to here and take advantage of this range here. Because if price would have grabbed liquidity before coming down towards 1900, it's gotta form some type of top wicks at 1911 now, 1910 now. So you're gonna see a spike down here, and then once it taps those levels, we'll look for our buys towards 1910. Okay. But lock it in, chat, because it's coming. All right, so 1908. Can you tap 1906, 1907? Just see another spike. You have a minute for a closure. Comics open too? Yeah, comics open as well. Came down 1908. Came close. Yeah, we're almost there, like 14 pips away from 1907 337. This count should close in about 50 seconds here. You might see one more pullback for a top wick, and then you should eventually tap 1907. There's two ways you can play it, right? Because if you were to reject 1907, you're gonna see it reject obviously, and then print something like this, right? And then it could still continue to close bearish or flip bearish and still come down like so. That's one scenario. Scenario two is you come down, you actually print structure. Let's say you set to range here, right? Before coming back up, you need to see liquidity. So you're gonna see then eventually you're gonna see something like this form. Boom, boom, right, the break of lows, and then a flip up to drive up to retest the highs. So those are your two scenarios there. It's how you get the first rejection push, which is you know, usually the quicker one, or you get the second push, which is once you actually form structure and form the motion before coming back up. Those are your two like scenarios where how this can possibly play out. And your stops are 1909 obviously, right? Or 1899 317. Can you tap? I just want to mark up where it is. Should see another spike down here. That push down is gonna be your entry. Okay, chat. You're gonna see another spike here. It's COMEX open here, so there should be volume. Should see a spike into these areas there any minute, and that'll be a pop. That'll give you that rejection towards 1910. It's like a 40 pip range, and then our runner target is gonna be like 70 pips probably. Our original target was up here for 1920, which is 140, but now that you broke below 1913, 1910, I probably want to see like 1913 probably. This count is moving. There we go. One more push. We have about 40 minutes left for the 4-hour close as well. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. 1906, 995. 1906, 995. So if that was the rejection, we would have seen it by now. If that was where price rejected off of, it's very rare. It's in the middle of a range, right? So if that was the rejection, we would have seen it by now. Close bullish. If that was where price rejected off of, it's very rare. Even if in the middle of a range, right? You close bullish, drove up, right? Close bullish or something. Continue up, it needs to form bottom wicks and such, right? So like, if even if that was a push, don't get FOMO over that, because you have another opportunity to enter anyways. If you don't get the wick entry, it might be the flip instead. But like what price is showing here, you're likely gonna re-break the lows there. A very high chance. Oh shit. Dropping stuff now. We'll probably like look for entries at 1906, right? 1907, 96, and then by the time taps like 1910, that'll be our break-even point, and then we'll close off like probably half, and let the rest rock towards 1913. All right, any moment here. If it's kind of prints no bottom wick, that'd be better for us, but 40 seconds for that to happen. Is wicks here? All right, cool. Chat. I'm taking buys now. At 1907.04 off that push. It tapped into those areas there to the left, right? So got in buys here. Again, target is gonna be probably just up here at like 1913. Stop's gonna be down here at 19,899. Okay, because the price, that's like the day of breakout low. So if price were to come down and break those lows, the trade's over with. Trade won't make sense no more. But if you were to reject at any levels here, it'll be around like 1906, 1907 here. All right. Once you tap 1909, I'll say that'll be break-even point. Or maybe a little ahead of that, but yeah, 1909.072 will be around like 20 pips in profit. So that's where, if price were to pull back and continue to drive down, that'll be where the top wick would be. Let's see, can we get a pineapple? Another pineapple entry would make sense at like 1902 though. But not yet, no. I remove this line. There we go. You're gonna see a push down here, another spike down here, but once it flips bullish, that'll be the drive because it's gonna create a bottom for this candle, right? So once it flips, that'll be the push up towards 1909, 1907, but it's gonna revert the lows here. Let's see, where is the, yeah, pineapple entrance could be here, 1903. Stop's not too bad. Had buy limit, nice. Now these are your levels here, right? So your next level is at 1903, and then your next level after that is at 1899, which is our stop. So there's only like one spot really where we can actually get pineapples or second entries. Just kind of going flipper. You have a 30 closure too, so 30 minute, the previous 30 has no top wick. Even if you don't form a top wick, you're gonna see a pullback. You're gonna see a top wick for 30. Because look, you're looking at left or even chat, like you're gonna see this as well, right? Like for all the times you actually drove down towards 1899, which are stop loss, you before doing that, you came up first to create top wicks, right? Like you're looking at this in these areas here to the left, right? Last time price came all the way down towards 1886, came up towards 1912, 1911 first before doing so, and that's kind of where we're targeting as well here. All right, so there's the flip, the break of the highs. Should be able to see 1909, 072 here. Oh, Wix is here. Bring the volume, man. What's going on, Wix?
What's the deal?
Waiting for volume.
I am the volume. Wake up.
Oh, let me put my stops here.
VFTP, 1913?
1920, but yeah, probably like 1913 to be honest, like probably what I'm looking towards. I got 1920 because like that was originally where I wanted this morning at like I think 7 a.m. This morning I literally said this chat, let's place a buy limit at 1906 and call it a day. But like the thing is like the 4 count might close bearish here, so like I don't know if we'll be able to tap 1920 realistically.
Yeah, mine.
I think we'll just tap like 19. If anything, we'll tap 19.
1913 for sure if it's gonna drive down.
Yeah, 1913 for the top wick on a 4 hour and such.
Mm-hmm.
This 5 closed bullish here, so this 5 might break the lows again, chat. But it's gonna create a bottom wick, and then once it flips, we might have a pineapple. If it breaks the lows first, then flips, we'll have a pineapple potentially, or I'll have a pineapple. 30 has no top wick, right? 15 has no top wick, so this kind of flips bullish. Obviously, you know that should drive up. Yeah, 15 minutes left to the last 15 to 4 candle as well.
Yeah, this 30 might not give a top hook either.
Stream. What was your entry?
Oh, you know I entered.
Huh? I could read. Can you ask me what TP was?
No, I said, what's your TP?
Oh, 1920. Did we get a trade I didn't put here? We did. On, what day was that? Friday. What time's the trade at, chat? 9:31? I forgot to put it.
Such a strategy, man. Just buys with eyes closed because margin can allow that. Of course, you will somehow get 10 pips as it retraces. If not, let's hold 50K drawdown afterwards, close BE, and spam the, hey, anything you got to do to make $1 million.
Yeah, man.
Whatever you got to do to make $1 million, do it.
Who said there was rules in this game? Was it 11 chat? What day was Friday?
However you can do it.
That was 11.
I ain't gonna hold it against you. However you could do it, bro, do it.
Yeah, people are like, yo, it's so easy to do this. Then go ahead and do it then. What's wrong with the easy stuff? What's wrong with the easy stuff? I ain't tripping. What was it? Fake out? Quick entry? I guess the fake out, right, chat? Alright, cool. So there's the 5-minute bond on wig. Can you flip here though? Considering you are halfway into the candle, if it flips here, should see a push up. It wasn't a wick entry, chat, but almost. Well, maybe. If that is the low. What do you mean? Is that the low done? Can you flip here? Then break the highs.
Some buys.
Yeah. If it reverses the lows, then you're seeing that push down. Probably towards like 1904, 1903. Because it needs to print the motion, right? The motion would be, if it takes that route, then that'll be the motion. The motion would just be something like this.
Yeah, it's gonna have to drop down lower for the motion.
And then this, right? Like 1904, then rejection back up. That would be the motion.
Yeah, the motion.
And some drawdown. On my back.
5-minute closure here. It's gonna respect this previous 5.
Might close doji.
Might see
Ooh. There's a doji.
Perfect.
Now you might see the motion. You might see the breakout lows and then a flip. I'm trying to see if we can get a pineapple here, because
yeah, I'm trying to get an entry right here.
the only way I can get a pineapple is if it breaks the lows first and then flips. This count's gonna flip bearish, huh? Alright, chat. Moving my stops to break even here. You may end up flipping bearish here. I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna close half here. Because you may end up flipping bearish here. Closing half here. Don't know what that is. I think 8 pips, something like that. And then the rest rock towards target, okay? What do we close half at?
13.
15 pips?
I got a later entry than you, so I got 13.
Jeez, man, I'm typing for my life out here. All right, chat. I would expect this kind of flip bearish. It has no bottom wick here. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? It's gonna close off full here, actually. That 15 has no bottom wick. High chance you're gonna flip bearish here. If we had a wick entry, it would make more sense to let it rock.